My name is Utsav
and
Khadka,
new age
and I
material
come from India.
around.
I studied in
Hi, I'm Jack. I'm from Taiwan, and I used to study in Taiwan University of Art. In here, we more focus on the research and the process, and back in Taiwan, we are more focused on the design outcome in terms of details or materials.
I did product design in my undergrad. I did that in America, Drexel University in Philadelphia. And then I worked for a bit and then came to CSM. There's a lot of differences between studying there and here, but essentially that course was more about learning sort of the background of design and like design theories and stuff, whereas this course is a lot more like self-taught. And I really like the way it's done here, but I feel like I've grown so much as a designer since then as well that I'm making a lot more of it in a different sort of way and using the things I've learned since my undergrad to further learn more in this course.
So I studied product design at Politecnico di Milano. Difference is that back there was tougher and more brutal, harder.
So my name is Utsav Khadka, and I come from India. I studied in Pole Academy, Delhi. If I talk about like my university studies, it was much more open for me, but still I want like held kind of a scenarios was something which were I'm used to. But now if I when I come to UK and started studying again, it is much more different than what I was taught. So it is a very unique way of like self-reflecting upon your own well-being and your education altogether, which was really unique, and now getting used to it and kind of gives me a much more diverse approach towards any projects or any like study environment altogether.
So my background is I did a foundation course in Paris, and then I did my bachelor at Chelsea, still UAL. It's the same university. However, it's not the same way of thinking and designing in a sense that it's a different course, so it's a different design practice.
For my bachelor degree, I've studied at the Academy of the Arts in Brera, which is in Milan. The course provided a general training in the field of design and the acquisition of specific professional skills and design methodologies. Brera had, I think, a more structured and traditional approach to design, while CSM encourages more interdisciplinary collaboration and a holistic approach to addressing design challenges.
So I'm graduate in the Bachelor in Industrial Design from Bangkok, Thailand. It's named Chulalongkorn University. It's kind of different because like back in the Thailand, we more focusing on the research thing and do a lot of things based on the research, from the paperwork, for the news, from the scientific fact, and from the journal, that kind of things. But here we learning from the exploring by playing with the real thing, which is kind of different here, which is more interesting for me because something you're gonna be learn by doing it truly, like by yourself on your hand. That's the thing.
I quite keen to develop field of design for public because it's like more complex, it's more difficult because it's require a lot of communication and a lot of empathy, but I do like to take challenge, so that I think I will focus that in the future.
For my final project, I was thinking of doing something related with looking at things like biomimicry and biodesign, because it's just so happened that all the projects that I've done so far at CSM have been sort of related to or in that field of biodesign, like mixing plants with products, and I really sort of like this this way of doing things.
My interest? It's either sex, sleep, food, or meditation, kind of.
First unit I did a project with the food, so in that I got to understand like we eat so much processed food and what kind of an impact it generally has. I want to do something with gut health and how it can be improved, or eating habits which we have which leads to different kind of illnesses, so how that can be looked upon and can be challenged upon. So I think that is something I'm really interested in.
And my area of interest was craft and furniture. and new age material around circular design. However, now I'm thinking of more service design, where it englobes more people into the adequate find in the concept, in the process. So we're probably working in a consulting agency around innovation.
I don't have a precise idea yet of what I'll be working on in the next months, but I believe that the future of design lies in creating products and experiences that are not only aesthetically pleasing but also environmentally responsible.
Actually, I don't have any specific design interest. I just love solving problems when I do it as a kid. So if any project that interesting me, I would love to do it. I do so many field back there. Like used to design for the stage, like concert and theater thing. Also do like a graphic thing before. Product is my interest as well. Furniture, yes. Yeah, I have so many interests.
My inspiration or my idea usually come from my personal experience. Or I like to travel a lot, enjoy some times with myself, can generate some ideas.
So I've been looking at a lot of websites and obviously like researching online, like design and like other people's projects, like even Behan's projects that people have done on their work. Like it is a lot of really good work that's out there. So I've been reading books like Cradle to Cradle and other things like that, where I think it's better to look at something small and then grow from there. And I'm really excited by this idea of taking things from the biosphere and the technosphere and trying to like put them together and then easily have them come apart. And so I'm trying to figure out something over there.
So I use old pictures, mood board, and links or information saved after researching every day. When I find something that I like, I just save it there. So I just go there for...
Okay, so for the design inspiration, I generally like to go and read books, which is my prominent source right now. I generally don't trust all the things which are there in the internet. I prefer the old-fashioned way of like investigating all design approaches. That is something which I'm really interested in. So it depends upon the people's perspective, to be honest. So I still need to figure out how I can be a better version of myself. So yeah, this kind of makes me want to explore it. So yeah.
Depending on what I'm, if it's a self-directed brief, I guess it would be more oriented on my personal interests. So it's more around circular design and new materials. So usually books and the internet. If it's more service design around technology, would be more like scientific papers, academic papers written by scientists or people enthusiasts from a certain field.
I guess that inspiration can be everywhere, but research-wise, I would say that I tend to explore design-focused websites like Behance, Design, etc., to get an idea of the latest trends and emerging talents. Unfortunately, I'm not a big reader, but I'm trying to open myself whenever design books are recommended to me. And lastly, I would say that it's always valuable to study the work of designers, both historical and contemporary, as it helps understanding different design philosophies and approaches.
If it's in the beginning of the project, I mostly read the news and the book, like a Monocle, like Economic Forum, to see the trend. That is how I started the project, because I got changed back in the Thailand that we may start from the global trend and then more narrow down to the region, to the country, and then get it then more smaller into your control. But you start with the global trend.
When I was traveling, is sometimes will have some inspired moment just talking to myself, like really dig into my thoughts, just came out of nowhere. And then when I have loads idea, I would start to do some research through Google and to see that what kind of methodology or what kind of process that can be applied with my idea, and to see if there's a possibility to combine those ideas together with those process, and yeah, just see how it goes.
So basically, I think this process started for me when I started here. As I said, all my projects sort of had a theme, and At times I got bored with it and wished I didn't do it, but now looking back, I've been happy with most of those projects. So I think because I'm researched and I know what can work and what's pushing things too far, for me, someone with no bio design background, like I think I know the limits of what I can achieve. That's why I want to stick with this theme. But the process I've done basically is through all these projects and then now sort of trying to find a specific niche that I want to be in and trying to synthesize my research to find something that I'm going to make, basically.
Oh, it's basically something that I really care about. If something that I really want to work on as a designer, something where I can be useful, I just go for it.
The insights, when you move around a lot, when you talk to different people, you get their ideas, you get their perspective to how to, indulge in a project or indulge in an idea altogether. That gives us a really good motivation to move forward, I guess I can say. So for me, it's about the life we are living, and how I see the world around me is something I draw inspiration from.
Yeah, so usually it starts with some brainstorming on my area of interests and looking at people's projects around this area of interest. So usually that starts like this, and I question myself on certain subject around the brief, and usually at some point through all my area of interest, it links points together to create one concept. However, I'm still in the process where I'm a bit confused still, so still need a beginning.
I guess that I would start by identifying my personal interests and passions, then probably delve into research on the chosen area. And this involves studying existing products, relevant technologies and user needs. And during this phase, I also explore broader cultural and societal trends that might influence design choices. I look for connections between my interests and the research findings. This is where insight begins to emerge. For example, I might not notice an unmet need in a specific market, or discover an innovative material which is sustainable and has potential.
I starting with the world trend, what is going on, what is the issue for now on that people get more intention on. But what I'm interested in the project that I'm going to be working on for the final, I focus on three things. First one is well-being, second one is technology, and the third one is home. As you can see, like a normal diagram that we have like a three circle and then the intersection in the middle.